What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I am the host of Epic Conversations, 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads, fathers, and male caregivers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that movement, the team that I'm a part of with Dove Men Plus Care, collaborating. We've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles and solution for someone's problem. And we're broadcasting live on Monday, September 8th. So this is the first full week of school in the Greater Toronto area. And of course, the traffic has ramped up. And sometime this week, I have to make a trip further than I usually like to do in Toronto. So I'm going, oh boy, the traffic is going to hit. It's going to hit. So you're watching the Morning Vibe. For many of you are the regulars. You're used to seeing Ryan Knight. Ryan is not with us today, but he should be back with us on Friday. So I'm hand soloing it today, but hey, it's all good. And I see people are already in the chat or watching. Please put your comments in. Tell us where you're calling in from or watching from live. Appreciate it and don't take it for granted. Okay, we're having a little bit of a challenge this morning. I see something that isn't right. And I'm just trying to figure this out, why it's not working. Yeah, something is not working properly here. Hold on here. Okay. Let's just have another thing. It should be working properly, but it's not. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it off because I don't see it here, which is not good. Don't know why the QR code and the time are trumped, so let's just do it that way, so don't want to be a distraction. Let's go. What happened over the weekend? Did anyone do anything interesting over the weekend? Myself, I was at an event on Saturday morning with a group of men. We hang out usually once a month. So we had about 30 different guys, and we had some good conversation and fellowship, which went really well. Saturday afternoon, I was hosting Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala, and that was fire as per usual. And Saturday evening took it easy, and yesterday just spent some time hanging out with some people. And then last night hosted Black Men Can Talk, and we had a parenting, authority, Oliver Levy, from the Greater Toronto area, talking about best practices for parents and for kids going back to school. So you can check all those out on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel, all those repeats. And this morning, again, fall is here. And I don't know if we're going to get another blast of warm. Well, actually, this week's supposed to be warmer. Supposed to warm up a little bit. Not super crazy hot, but it's going to warmer because it is getting cool down at nights. But again, I can still sleep with my window open. But some people told me they're turning their furnace on. I'm going, oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Also, in my part of the world, I don't know with you folks, gas prices are getting ridiculous. Just over the last week, they have shot up like crazy. And I don't know what I'm sure there's always a reason why, but I don't know what the story is with that. But the gas prices have gone up like bam. Like bam. Okay, I was just fixing something up. I think we've got it happening again. All right, we've got the time happening. Okay, got the time and QR code happening. I just wanted to make sure that's right. So there we go. That looks more proper, don't you think? So people are watching. Chat it up. What's going on in your world? But yeah, the gas prices have gone. And interesting story. Someone shared with me, how many people here shop at Costco? Who shops at Costco? Watch here. Because I read a story, someone sent it to me yesterday. Interesting practice that Costco has. Actually, I have to admit, I do have a Costco card. I do have it. I only use it mostly for gas, but, talking about gas prices, I've been finding gas stations selling gas cheaper than Costco in my area, and that's what I would mainly use my Costco card for, is, get gas that's cheaper than most gas stations. No one has a Costco card? Come on. Come on. Well, interesting thing they're doing, I think it's at least I know in the Greater Toronto area, but maybe Costco Canada is doing it. So Costco has different levels of membership. So I know that they have the regular membership, which I think it's $65, I think. And then, and please correct me if I'm wrong, and then they have an executive membership, which is I think $130, which I guess allows you more perks. Really not true. I don't know if it's true or not. Well, what they're doing now with executive members for Costco, they can go in when Costco first opens up the first hour without, not like regular members cannot go in now for the first hour. So executive members, I was thinking about that. Not a bad practice, but the thing is, a lot of people have executive memberships. Are they available the first hour of the day? Okay, so C Nurse K, what is up? Saying, she says, morning, I have an executive membership that was almost $150 after taxes. It's funny you mentioned that, C Nurse K. I had an executive membership, and when I was after my first year, and I went to renew it, and the person at the Costco desk said, "Why are you having this membership?" I go, "Well, they told me I'd get benefits." She goes, "You don't spend enough at Costco to really benefit from it, and all you're using it for is gas." I said, "Oh, well, thanks to bring that to my attention." And what they did is say, "You know what? You should just have a regular membership. You don't spend enough to benefit from it." And I go, "Thank you." So I'm paying less. And again, I don't buy a lot of Costco. Yeah, the executive membership, CNSK, it is expensive. But how often do you go to a retail store and the clerk or the representative there says, "You know what? You shouldn't be doing this. You should be doing that." Now, sometimes there may be motive behind it, but this person was being very honest. What I did after that representative told me, "You should just have a regular membership." I said, "Thank you so much." And then I said, "Is your supervisor here?" And she goes, "Yeah, she's over there." So I went over to her supervisor and said, "You know what? I want to thank you. I want to thank you." I said, "Your representative there did a really good job. I really appreciate how it was handled, etc., etc." So I'm wondering though if she went back and said, you made him spend less money at our store. I don't know, but hey, it's all good. But yeah, it's Costco. Well, at least one person here shops at Costco. 150. So C Nurse K, is $150 worth your while? Do you feel it's a value? $150 Costco membership. Be very curious to know and ask. And I see other people are watching live here. Are you still stretching? Let's have let's get some interaction going if you are up to it. What else going on? I don't know. This is pretty quiet weekend. Another quick story. So yesterday afternoon, I went to eat with a few people. And I went, there's an establishment I'm starting to go regularly to that I enjoy. And there's a gentleman there. He's a bartender, but he also helps with serving. This place has been around for a long time. And he always says, "Hi, how you doing?" He's always friendly, always making sure everything's going all right. So I finally say, "Hey, what's your name?" And he goes, "I won't give you his name." And he said, "Oh yeah," we started to chat. And long story short, he told me that he was married for 20 years, but he's been divorced for 6 years. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that." He says, "Hey, don't worry about it. She was cheating on me." And I won't get into details of the story from his side. And and he said, "Do you have any kids?" He says, "Yeah, I have a daughter." And basically what he has done is he works 2 jobs, and his daughter, he has financed his daughter to come up here and complete her education up here. And I said, "Wow, that is amazing." And I thought about it. I'm going to buy him a card and just say, "Hey, great job, Dad." He works 2 jobs, doesn't sleep a lot. And now his daughter is graduating, saying, "You got to spend some time for yourself." He says, "No problem, no problem." Macmillan Group, good to have you in the house this morning, saying, "Good morning, Dr. Vibe. Had a card decades ago. It was a corporate card, never used it." There you go, getting back to Costco. Yeah, Yeah, I don't the card I like the only time I use it a lot, as like I said, the only time I use it these days is for, if I'm going to an event or a family event and have to buy a bunch of things, I buy it for, I use my Costco card there. And gas, as I said, the gas, I'm able to find alternatives to Costco gas at a cheaper price. Now, the only thing is, believe it or not, I have to fill up my gas sometimes like at 11 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night when it's really cheap. But other than that, I don't really use it a lot. And if I'm lazy, which I can be, excuse me, I'll go and buy one of the Costco chickens and serve me for a few days. C Nurse K says, yes, it's worth me because I have kids, so buying in bulk comes in handy, especially for school snacks, clothing, etc. The rebate check they give helps to cover the costs of the membership. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So you find value, want to make sure that you're getting value with your Costco membership. This is good. This is good. Got some. And again, thank you for the Macmillan Group and C Nurse K for kicking off this morning's show. I think we're going to go to a break. And then when we come back from our break, we'll do some housework. And then we are going to have Carolyn Nichol on, who's on for her monthly visit. And we're going to be chatting about water, my favorite drink in the world, water. All right, so we'll be back in 30 seconds, and we'll get the conversation going. So keep it locked on The Morning Vibe. What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here. These are two ladies. They're not all over the place. They're forward, and they're straight shooters.
I got to stand in front.
No wonder people don't understand what the Democrats have been doing. That man lied 36,000 times, and we know this because you all counted it.
This is part of the story that a lot of news outlets are not talking about. All right. Primetime Saturday with Ish and Lala on every Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. Two wonderful Black American ladies who try to make sense of the nonsense that's going on in America. And wow, it's like an old Kumo D song. It's the Wild Wild West. And for a lot of people when it comes to Canada, Wild Wild West. Oh, look who's in the house. It is Fitness IQ Cam saying, morning. Good morning, Fitness IQ Cam. Hope you and family are fine and safe. Good to have you here as always. All right, let's do some housework. Check out and subscribe to the Morning Vibe, or not the Morning Vibe, the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification button. We are getting close to 1,900 subscribers. I would love to see that in the next week or so. Then we're going to go after 1910, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then hit the 2,000. But right now, the goal is 1,900 subscribers. Yeah, that's the goal right now. Also, follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Substack. As always, join our Discord group. Please email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com or click on the link that's in the screen there. But you also see it on most of the platforms you're watching this live or on replay. If you want to advertise your business, product, or service on any of the platforms I'm a part of, please email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And we can't forget Dr. Tachi, who powers a great platform called Indie Soup Media on YouTube. It is a platform of independent content creators. I'd say about 20 to 30 of them. And independent content YouTube channel has still trying to get to that 28,000 subscriber mark, which would be great. And as always, remember, and people think, 28,000. It is significant because only 4% of all YouTube channels have over 10,000 subscribers. So Dr. Tachi's done this with the Indie Soup TV family in 18, 19 months. So that is fantaculous. As always, cannot forget, if you've got a question or a take, you can call in and chat with us. Today, you can be chatting with myself and Carolyn. So all you need to do, there's two ways. And if you look on my screen, it's the top left corner. I don't know if on your screen it's the top right corner, but there's two ways. The first way is go to callme.com.road. No, sorry, the callme.road.com. Put that in your favorite browser. When you go and hit to that site, you'll be asked to put in a code. And you put in the following code, FSPL8L, and make sure the letters are all capital, and then put your name. Now, a lot of people go, oh, there's already a code in there. Don't worry about that. You can type over that and then put your name. Then there'll be a green button that says join the conversation. Hit that, and then I'll be able to patch you in live with that. And the new feature, slowly but surely, it's picking up. And again, sometimes, in the past, a lot of times if I want to come into the show, I can only come in via video. You don't have to be video ready. All you have to do is voice ready and cognizant a bit to come in to the show. All right. Well, I am waiting patiently for Carolyn to get herself ready to come on the show because we're talking this month about water. Water. And I have to admit, I'm needing to drink a little bit more water. So it's a good time for her to come on. So we're just waiting patiently for Carolyn to come on screen. And then when she comes on screen, we'll make it happen. So hope everything's okay on her end. While we're waiting, anything all of you would like to chat about? Oh, I hear something. I hear her. Hold on. Okay. Okay, I need you to unmute Carolyn and also camera up, and we can make things happen. Okay, so we're just waiting for her camera to... Okay, we're waiting. We're waiting for the camera to come on. Ah, there we go. 100%. Let's make it happen. Look who's in the house. Carolyn Nichol. What is up?
Good morning. Sorry for the delay. It's a little bit new with this. I always forget that the controls are on the main screen, not on my icon. It doesn't matter. I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm super. How are you?
I am blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, solution for someone's problem. And Carolyn is one of the people in my journey. I don't like to say my life. I call it my journey, that whenever I chat with her, she always levels me up. Doesn't matter where I am at the time, she levels me up. So it's nice to get a level up. I shared with Carolyn, there's some things going on, and just her spirit leveled me up a bit. So that's fantastic. So what's going on in the world of Energy Shack, Juice Bar, and Gluten-Free Bakery?
Well, we are coming out of the summer, so that means that people are realizing that there was too many barbecues and vacations were too long. So the detoxes are really picking up. We have relaunched, or brought out again our Master Cleanse because that was really popular. We had it only for July, so we brought it back for September. And although our retreats are next year, 2026, the early bird deadline to get $100 off ends October 15th. So we're really encouraging people that want to take 4 days in February or 4 days in April to book now with just a $200 deposit. You don't have to make the full commitment. But those retreats are something that is definitely... It's a life-changing 4 days. It's amazing. I can do in 4 days what I accomplished with a client in 30 because I have you in front of me. You're doing all the therapies. I can control everything you eat and how many walks you take a day, and you see a phenomenal change. So I encourage you. It's in Muskoka. So we're just getting ready for that. And of course, at the bakery, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas because these are very busy times for the bakery.
Oh, don't say that. Let the weather cool gradually. Don't do that to us.
Sorry, pumpkin pies and apple is here.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a favor of you. Can you just your top of your head's a little bit cut off, so I don't think
Sure.
you can. Okay, that's better. There we go.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Is that good?
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Before we went live this morning, you told us that Monday mornings are a little bit crazy with you. So you want to just share that? I didn't know. I know you're always on the go, but especially Monday mornings seem to be a little bit cray cray.
Well, because we ship to pretty much everywhere, like as far as Brampton goes, Oshawa, all of that, but we ship there Monday to Friday. And most like Mondays are busiest day for deliveries, Energy Shack and the Whisk Gluten Free Bakery. And although we have the staff in, I put a lot of the orders in the system because I'm the one talking to the clients of, they need their detox and all of that. So, because I'm not the most cross your T dot your I person, I tend to leave room for questions. What did you mean by this, Carolyn? So, or, the driver can't come in, or this isn't printed, or something. So Monday mornings tend to be a little bit intense as far as, needing me for stuff. And so I always have to warn the entire crew, I'm on the Dr. Vibe show. Like, I'm not going to be available
Oh,
until, after 10:30. So it's okay. We've had our powwow this morning. I think everything's okay over there. But yeah, Mondays tend to be a little bit, it's a quieter like traffic day. It's a quieter like call day, but it's an intense get all the orders out day.
okay. So Fitness IQ Cam goes, shh, about the weather changing. And I don't know those two words we don't want to hear yet. I don't know what two words I said. I always tell you, Fitness IQ Cam, please be as detailed as possible. 'Cause I don't remember. But she said yet. So her, like myself, we don't want to hear about this cold weather. I know you're, and actually another thing, and I follow your timelines on Instagram. I saw where you posted about, it was a scene of people getting out of the saunas.
Wasn't that great? Didn't you just want to be there?
You think?
Did I lose you? Yeah.
No, I'm just being very quiet with you saying that.
Yeah,
I think I saw one of your sisters walking out of one of, are those wood saunas or?
yeah, so they're barrel saunas, they're outside, and then there's a pool right beside the sauna. So that was a clip at the retreat. So we sit in the sauna for about a half an hour until it becomes so hot you can't even handle being in there. And then everyone gets these nice big white robes. So then you just put your robe on, walk over to the pool and jump in. And the whole of the outside of your body is like hot like fire. Inside is hot. And then you get this crash of cold wave over you. And it's so therapeutic. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. And when we do that in February in the winter, wow, that water is so cold and the sauna is so hot. It's something you don't want to miss.
Maybe it's something I don't want to do.
No. Yeah, it is something you want to do. I'm going to be honest. I know I'm a white lady, but I have a large black audience.
Yes.
And all of my black clients are like, no, black people don't do that. We don't do that. We don't get our hair wet. We don't go in the pool. We don't do silly, crazy things that white people do. Go in hot saunas and cold plunges.
I'm not saying this, family. She's saying it. Go ahead.
But when I get my West Indian clients going from that sauna to the cold plunge, it becomes addictive. They love it, just like I do. Doesn't matter what culture you're from. You could be an Eskimo, you could be from the Caribbean. It is so amazing. It's a perceived risk. You feel like it's scary. You feel like it's trouble, but it's actually not.
How happy would you be if I ever did that?
I listen, I'd put you on blast. You'd get to your subscribers. You'd get to your 2 million subscribers. That's what would happen. Yeah.
Well, I'll take 2,000. 2 million is really big. I speak that. But
it's amazing. It's amazing. And especially if you get your whole body in, you let the water go over your head. And you're not in long. You just go in and you come out. You don't have to stay long. I mean, I go and do laps all over the pool because it's so
No, no,
invigorating.
sorry. That ain't no. I'm not doing laps and pool. No, 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 no laps. No, 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 no. That's no, no.
But you just have to dip in and jump out. Put your robe
Oh,
back on.
that's
And that's it.
that I could probably
Yeah,
do.
that's all you have to do. You just have to cool off.
And then she'll probably say, okay, so what? Going back in? You probably want me to go back in.
No, it's not ideal to go back in.
Oh,
You just do that every morning. You get super, super hot. It's a half an hour of heat. And then it's like literally like 2, 3, 4 minutes of cold. So you just dip in and you jump right out.
okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So
Now,
what happens is, I mean, it's not just for madness, but just so I can explain what happens, because we are talking about water today,
yeah.
and hydrotherapy is what we're doing with this sauna and cold plunge. But what happens is when your system is shocked into that cold temperature, your body rapidly starts making white blood cells. And so it actually strengthens your immune system to go from the hot to the cold. And in the sauna, you're getting rid of toxins because you're sweating them out. And when you jump in the cold plunge, those pores close. Your blood starts dilating and constricting, so it moves everywhere, and then your body rapidly starts producing white blood cells, which strengthen your immune system. So it's such a phenomenal way to improve your immune system and overall health. It decreased your blood pressure. You think your blood pressure would go high? It doesn't. It drops low.
Okay. Well, before we get started in our water baby topic today, let's just put it out there.
Mhm.
If you want to get a hold of Carolyn, here's information: EnergyShackJuiceBar.com, email address info@EnergyShackJuiceBar.com, Instagram, The Energy Shack Juice Bar, Facebook, Energy Shack Juice Bar, phone number 647-637-6755. By the way, Carolyn helped, no, she assists clients all around the world. Even though she's based in the Greater Toronto and right now is not living in Toronto, she's up north, north of Toronto. She's a global citizen. She's a global. No, you know what? Global servant. A
There you
global
go.
servant. There you go. If you have any questions about physical health for Carolyn, please email her at info@Energy Shack Juice Bar and say you saw on the Morning Vibe. If you want consultations, there is a link there. And also special offer consultation with the nutritionist for $49 instead of $110 price when you mention the Morning Vibe or Dr. Vibe. So email info@the Energy Shack Juice Bar. And I think that's it for now. I want to make sure that we got that done up front. And on the platforms that you're watching this on live or replay, all that information is already in the comments section. It's already taken care of. All right. Wata. So in Jamaica, we have our plastic water bottles here, but in Jamaica, they have the plastic and water is WATA, wata. So let's talk about water. Let's go for it. Where do you want to start?
Well, I want people to first of all understand that there's a lot of demand today for your time and your resources, and these are two extremely precious commodities. And one thing I always try to explain to people that yes, you may invest in a retreat or a couple months on a program with myself and our crew. But at the end of the day, healing should not be expensive. And so if you are at a place where you are spending daily, regularly, so much money on your health between supplements and expensive water, you have to be going in the wrong way, because health should be affordable for everybody. And I will tell you that if you do it right, like water is the cheapest beverage on the planet. So there you go. So that's what I want everyone to kind of have in their mind is that your water should be clean. It shouldn't be expensive. It should be affordable. But this is the best beverage of choice. And as you heard from our little discussion this morning, that the benefits of water is not just drinking it. We know that, you wouldn't take a shower on apple juice or coffee. Like, there's a reason why we should wash our internal organs with water. We wash our outside with water, and water is very, very, or can be very therapeutic. So water has so many benefits beyond just drinking it. But I think that there's too much marketing that has happened with our water in the last 20 years that is causing us to spend money unnecessarily on this very inexpensive, or should be inexpensive, beverage.
All right. Love that to start off with. And again, I want to encourage people, please call in if you got a question. Go to callme.road.com on your browser. When you get there, put in the code FSPL8L. Make sure your letters are in cap. Put in your name, and then hit the green join the conversation. You can get there quicker to that website. If you have a smartphone, all you have to do is scan the QR code, and you are there. All right. I know I want you to share because I've got a pile of questions, or I can start giving questions already.
Well, it's up to you. I always have my points ready, but I'm happy for questions.
Yes, get your stuff out first, and then I will ask the question. So go for it.
Well, here's the thing is that I'm very privileged to know a good friend of mine now, but he started as just, a salesperson reaching out to me, but Keith from Choice Water, because although he sells a very affordable reverse osmosis system, he really helped to educate me on water. And so it wasn't that long ago where we actually, I think it's on our old and now hacked Instagram page, so we should probably redo it. But I actually went through the process a few years ago of buying all the main waters on the market, from Evian to Aquafina, Dasani, Esca water, all the Arctic cold water, Flow water. I spent quite a bit of money on buying almost every brand of bottled water. And what Keith gifted me with when I first bought the system, the reverse osmosis system from him at the Energy Shack, was a turbidity meter. So it's a tool where you can check how many particles are in your water. And that's important because if there's too many particles in the water, that means that you don't have clean water. And it's quite deceiving because you line up all these waters with each other and they all look clean, but your human eye cannot see these particles. They're very, very small and minuscule. But those particles are affecting the human body. Those particles are creating toxic buildup or calcium buildup or magnesium buildup, whatever the case is. So how many particles you have in your water is very important. And when advertisements are advertising your water, they are not advertising the particles of your water. They're just advertising the source of your water. And so the big problem is the source or how it's made. That's the major issue with water here. Because if I always like to just go back to the original design. How were we supposed to get water? We're supposed to get water from a spring or a flowing river. So the closest we can get to that kind of water, and how is water really made? Well, you have the water, it goes up to the clouds, and then the rain comes down. That's, and they would have rain catchers as well and barrels of water. So this is how we were designed to consume water. Today, we have spring water, we have tap water, we have alkaline water, we have reverse osmosis water, we have distilled water. It gets very confusing. So which water is truly best? And there's a few deciding factors, but one, you have to know how many particles does that water have? And number two, what is the actual source of that water? Because that's important as well. You're on mute.
I didn't know that it was so scientific. It's such a simple thing.
Yeah, it is. There's so much science behind water. Have you seen the water plants in Toronto? It's like super science.
Yes, exactly. So we have Kevin says, good morning, all. Kevin, I don't think we've seen you before here, but hey, welcome, welcome. Please feel free to contribute to the conversation. Fitness IQ Cam says, Fire pun, Aquafina and Dasani. All right, I'll bring in my first conversation piece. What defines healthy, unquote, drinking water?
So that's a good question. So what defines healthy drinking water is how many particles are in your water. Okay. So that's very important. And I want to share with you the results of my testing. So how many particles are in your water? And also, where did the source come from? Which, depending on how many particles in it, doesn't necessarily matter, but where did the source come from? So those are the two things, but particles are ultimately the deciding factor.
Well, okay. So which quantity matters most for health? Contaminants, minerals, pH, TDS, or taste?
So definitely not taste, but your taste will let you know that there is usually something wrong. But we easily grow accustomed to bad tastes, unfortunately. So that's not always the effect is taste. But if you're used to very clean water and you try a different water, you can usually notice a difference of taste, but for sure contaminants. So one thing is that we need to understand is that your bodies have a pH level of 7.34, okay? That's the alkaline state of the human body. Now, we have something called homeostasis, not trying to make this too technical, but homeostasis is the law that governs the human body. Your body, through homeostasis, knows how much vitamin A you need every day and vitamin B, and it knows when your blood is becoming acidic. If you go in and take a pH strip on your tongue or through your urine, it's almost too late. Your body knows that an acidic state of blood is an atmosphere for disease. Your body can't function in a certain level of acidity. The stomach is very acidic because of the hydrochloric acid, but it's supposed to be that way. So your body knows all the places, all the pH levels, and if it's off, it fixes itself before you can get to it. It doesn't say, Carolyn, my blood is acidic, do something, drink some alkaline water. It fixes itself. It finds a way to resolve the issue. That can be very dangerous because the truth is, and this is an important point, calcium makes things alkaline. Magnesium makes things alkaline. Your body has these minerals in its bones, in its joints. So when the blood is acidic, your body is actually going to break your bones up, release calcium into your bloodstream to make it alkaline. So I'm saying this to say that your body is always fixing itself. So if you have an alkaline diet, you don't need alkaline water. Water is not designed to make the body alkaline. Your stomach is acidic. It doesn't need alkaline water to hit it. What it needs is an alkaline diet, and it needs water for cleansing, not for balancing your pH.
All right, good stuff. Well, I knew someone would land with the conversation today. I said, where is he? Where is he? Who do you think I was waiting for?
Our food plane.
Yeah, there. 100%. So Food Plane is here saying, good morning, Dr. Vibe, and my favorite.
Ah, that's so nice.
The one and only Carolyn Diaz here. Good to have you. It also says faucet water in America is an issue. I did tons of research before purchasing the quote clearly filtered water unquote. I purchased a water tester and it passed every test. No fluoride, no chemicals, no plastics.
So can I speak to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and the food plane has got it right. So I would agree that our water in America is an issue, but there's a greater issue of different water that's in America. So I can't really speak for America, but I'll speak for Canada. But I'm pretty positive this is true even in America. There is more regulation on our tap water than there is on spring water. So I would agree that our tap water is full of fluoride, it's full of chemicals, it's full of chlorine, but it's regulated. There are tests, there are filtrations, there's no testing. Only basically like once a year. The regulations on spring water, there's almost no regulation past you finding the source, doing your original test, and doing the bottling. Our spring water does not have good regulation. Our tap water has more regulation than our spring water. When I tested spring water versus tap water, spring water has more particles, more garbage, more toxins than our tap water. I'm not suggesting people drink tap water, but if you have a choice right now, and like, here's the thing is that we are spending so much money on spring water. I mean, that is probably, I could be wrong, but that is probably outside of toilet paper, the number one item sold at Costco. They have their Kirkland spring water. It's spring water. The water coming out of your tap is cleaner. The tap water, when I tested it, was just over 200 particles. Okay, that's a lot. Tap water is about 200 particles. Spring water was 293 particles. Your spring water, Evian, your Kirkland brand, whatever the case is, whenever it says spring water, it is not regulated. You're better off drinking your tap water, and I'm serious. Unless, of course, you go to some sort of a inexpensive paid filter. And I'll talk to you about those things. But spring water is the worst water that anybody can consume.
Wow, on fire already. Let's go to some more comments. Food Plane says, in my opinion, in America, the best water is clearly filtered. He also says, so true about alkaline water. Drea Rich, good to have you here. Says, good morning, Dr. Vibe and guest. Food Plane says, finding alkaline in the diet is not something people selling alkaline water machines are telling us. Love that you said that, said find it in your diet. Drea Rich has a question. If I heard Carolyn correctly, our diet should be alkaline based as opposed to need to purchase and consume alkaline water?
100%. Yeah, this is the, the information that we receive. Understand that all this information we receive on social media, it's so skewed. I mean, we're full of knowledge, but we almost know nothing because we're not really reading books and doing research anymore. We're just taking information and not even critically thinking about anything anymore. It's information overload. And understand that, like, almost every reel you watch, there's some sort of marketing money behind it. And so with that being said, all of this push for alkaline water, it's expensive. The average person can't afford an alkaline water machine. And since that's the case, that means that if alkaline water is truly the best water, most people can't afford it. That means you can't experience good health. It can't be that way. You should be able to experience good health no matter your budget. And water is the cheapest, least expensive beverage that you can consume. If you're drinking your tap water, again, it's full of chlorine. I'm not promoting that, but it's still a better choice than buying spring bottled water packaged in plastic. Yeah, so your diet should be alkaline. And when I say that, you'd think, oh, that means I shouldn't consume citrus. I shouldn't have lemons or oranges because all of those are acidic. No, to your body, those are alkaline. So a plant-based diet, period, even though some of the foods fall on more of an acidic scale than others, a plant-based diet makes the blood alkaline because when you consume chicken or fish or beef or even shrimp, you're going to have some uric acid. So even though it may appear to be alkaline initially, because of the toxic waste, we create an acidic environment. So all of those scales that you see, oh, lentils are not alkaline, and your chicken is alkaline. Initially, yes. And on the outside of the surface, if I test that lemon, it's acidic. But to my body, it actually becomes alkaline because of the state of the stomach and the aftermath. What happens after it's digested? Is there a high level of toxic waste that makes the blood acidic? Or is there a low level of waste that keeps the blood alkaline? So if you can just focus on having more plant-based foods and just clean water, you're good.
Okay. I love the thumbs up. Fantastic. So let's pardon me, do a reset here. We're speaking with Carolyn. We're hanging out with Carolyn Nicol. Not speaking, we're hanging out with Carolyn Nicol, certified holistic nutritionist from the Energy Shack Juice Bar. We're talking about which water, understanding the pros and cons of all types of water. And as always, when Carolyn comes in, the comments fly. So let me go. Yeah, they're just going. Food Plane says recently in some news reports in America, we just found the most quote spring unquote water is not real.
Yeah.
Fitness IQ Cam, wowzers. Also says, Food Plane says you should drink mineral water better.
We're going to get into that. I'll answer that in a minute.
Okay. And he also asks, and in a glass bottle, correct?
As far as possible. I'll get into that.
Okay. Drea Rich goes, oh, wow. Thank you for confirming that about alkaline water. We clearly need to question things more. Food Plane says, yes, so true, Carolyn. Not enough critical thinking. Well, we become marketing products. That's what we've become. And then most spring water, oh, here we go. Most spring water in America is not even real. Food Plane goes, wow. Okay, I'll put this question out. Kevin asks, there are folks who believe you should eat right for your blood type, that O blood needs meat and all the others can be plant-based. Facts?
False. Actually, I'm so grateful that when I was in...
Great questions here today. I mean,
Here's
wow.
a great question.
I'm going to stop and let you cover and maybe answer some of the questions that have come up. So I'll stop here and let you continue.
Okay. So actually, when I was in school studying to become a nutritionist, I actually did my theological paper on that book, Eat Right for Your Blood Type. And I did it near the end of my course, and it threw me almost into depression because when I read all of these incredible facts about eating right for your blood type, that meant the theory that I understood and had learned through science looked like it was completely squashed due to the information and research on Eat Right for Your Blood Type, because there's certain globulins that are in the body, part of your immune system, that some, depending on your blood type, have more of or have less of. So that means that someone with blood type O should be more of a carnivore, and somebody with blood type B should be more of a herbivore. Well, that works well for me, who's a B blood type, but that means that my family, who has 3 different blood types happening, I have to cook differently for every one of them. So I thought, let me put this to the test. So even as a blood type B, I should stay away from, I don't remember all of them, but I believe it was kidney beans, avocados. So I followed the B blood type. And there's no question about it. Although I was already feeling good, I felt a little bit better. And so this really, really started to just weigh on me, because I felt like all my years of schooling was just destroyed, because I believed that a plant-based diet was good for everybody. I also believed the original diet, what mankind was created in the Garden of Eden, which was plant-based, is good for everybody. But then I read a chapter that the author wrote, which really dug me deeper into researching about these immunoglobulins and about the lectins and about the blood types. And he wrote about a patient that he had that was fighting cancer, and they were a blood type O, I believe. I don't remember the exact story, but it's in the book. And he was giving them their blood type diet. It's like one paragraph in this chapter. And the cancer wasn't going. They switched to the complete opposite diet of his blood type, and it disappeared. And he gave some sort of it's amazing that he even recorded that. And that really stood out to me. And so I began to research this more and realized that if I keep giving my body only what my blood type wants, my immune system doesn't get stronger. There's a reason why kidney beans are not perfectly digested in my system. It means maybe I eat them a little bit less, but it means that my immune system has to actually work a little bit harder to digest that food. If I always give the kid the only thing they want, which is broccoli and French fries, they're never going to fill up their vitamin list. And so this eat right for your blood type, the whole theory is actually incorrect, because if you only eat for your blood type, your immune system gets very, very, very weak. So I disagree with the eat right for your blood type. I've done the study, I've done the research, and I believe that everybody should be eating a plant-based diet. I believe that with all my heart, with, research and ethics and just, original design. So that's one. Two, as far as the, having your mineral water, your alkaline water, these are, I'm just going to give the types of water, and then maybe we can unpack it. So you have the choices. So the food plane was asking, mineral water is best. So we have spring water, we have tap water, we have alkaline water, we have reverse osmosis water, and we have distilled water. These are the 5 main water types. So let's go through the particles for these 5 main types. Okay, so our spring water is about 290 particles. Sometimes it can hit 300, sometimes it goes to 270. Our tap water is about low 200s. Okay. Now, if you go to alkaline water, it's very interesting, because what's the source of the alkaline water? Are they taking tap water and just adding sodium bicarbonate to it or calcium to make it alkaline? Or are they taking spring water, which is usually the case, and making it alkaline? All the alkaline waters I tested came into the same category as spring water. Super high particles, even though it was alkaline. And the reverse osmosis water, which is your Aquafina, your Distani, or if you have your own reverse osmosis system, get in touch with me. I can show you how to get one very inexpensively. But that one came in at maximum 17 particles. But my reverse osmosis water in my store in my house was 4 particles. Big jump from 200. And the last one, which is distilled water, it has 0 particles. So distilled water and reverse osmosis, those are the 2 best for you. But now they're out of minerals. There's almost no particles. So that's the problem people are listening to. If you drink distilled or reverse osmosis water, you lose minerals from your body and you end up with weak bones. Not the case. If you have a diet that's rich in minerals, you don't need minerals from your water. You don't need alkaline states from your water. Water is to cleanse. Your food helps to make, and your stress helps to make your body alkaline. And your food and your diet is all the minerals that you need. You don't need to get that from water. So that's the real understanding, is that we need to understand that alkaline water, which in its natural state, flowing through all the rocks, it loses ions as it crashes over all of those rocks. That's what ultimately makes it alkaline. That's great if you've got an alkaline flow or stream beside you. But if you're buying alkaline water, they've added calcium, they've added sodium bicarbonate, they've added minerals to it that make it alkaline, and that's problematic because those are substances that the body can't process, and they calcify in the system and cause a lot of trouble. So I would say to stay away from alkaline water as far as possible.
All right. I got some conversation topics, and the comments are flying. Here we go. And the food plane says, and in a glass bottle, correct?
Well, so as far as you can. Not everybody can get their water from glass bottles, but yes, glass is best. It doesn't leach from your plastic. We can't get away fully from plastic, but ideally, whenever you can, better you have a reverse osmosis system in your house or a distiller if that's what you have, and you just serve it in glass. That's the best solution.
Wonderful. So let's do a reset because there's still more comments. I want to make sure people are jumping in. We are hanging out with Carolyn Nichol, Certified Holistic Nutritionist of the Energy Shack Juice Bar, about which water, understanding the pros and cons of all types of water. And this is great engagement happening because right, Carolyn? This is really good stuff going down.
There are good questions coming in as always. It's an amazing crowd here.
Well, you drive it. You drive it, or God drives it.
Yes.
All right, next comment. And you missed out earlier, but of course the food plane says, hey, at some point we have to talk about the retreat, Carolyn. Please, sounds great. She did talk about it earlier.
I did.
Yeah, you have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah, if you go to our website and you go under services, you'll see, or events, you'll see the retreat, and all the information's there. Just book by October 15th to get $100 off. You only have to give a $200 deposit, and your space is saved for February or April 2026. But you've got to join this retreat.
Wouldn't it be something if Food Plane was there? Hello.
Then we gotta get Dr. Vibe there. Then we'll do the podcast when you get out of the pool after the sauna.
We already have this planned. Food Plane says, I recently heard that alkaline kills cancer, baking soda. Any truth there?
Baking soda should not enter the human body. I believe that with all my research, that baking soda is actually dangerous for the human body. And I'll tell you what kills cancer. What kills cancer is a mind that's not stressed out, people that go to sleep early, and that eat an alkaline diet. That's what kills cancer. Of course, there's some herbs, but baking soda, I know, I've seen the stats, and people are loading themselves with baking soda, and I've heard of people cured from it. I don't endorse the use of consuming baking soda or adding it to your water to make it alkaline.
Okay. Check out this comment. I'm going to send you this. Drea Rich says, I am stunned. I was drinking reverse osmosis and switched to alkaline because I was told it was better.
Yeah, it's just more expensive. And somebody's making a pretty dime off of your water consumption, and they should not be.
Okay. Kevin says, that's the mic drop. Get the minerals from your food while on a plant-based diet and not from your water.
Yes.
Wow. Good morning, Opal Inspired. Good to have her here. Certainly follow, subscribe, and hit the notification button on her YouTube channel so we can get her to 1,000 subscribers. She does creative stuff that you need to check out. Food Plane goes, wow. Also, he has the looks emoji. He's like, what? And then Food Plane has the laugh emoji. Opal Inspired says, okay, question. Hi, Carolyn. Is it a good idea to boil your water?
Yeah, so if you can't afford a reverse osmosis system, distilled water is actually really cheap. It's very inexpensive. It does come served in a plastic bottle. But if money is tight and you can't even afford, even a Brita, which is not a great filter, but a better filter for your tap water, but you're not getting the chlorine out. Sure, you can boil your water, but understand that when you boil it, you're getting out some of the bacteria, but you're not losing the chlorine. So our body does need chlorine, but the amount that's in our tap water is way too high. It's too much. And the fluoride is way too high. So is boiling your water a good idea? If that's all you can do it. You just need clean water. I know that when I go camping in Algonquin, we're taking the lake water and that's our water because we go in with very little on our backs and we're there for many days. So I boil that water from the lake before I consume it to kill any bacteria. So that's a great choice. If you're going to do it, you've got to boil it for more than 5 minutes and then let it cool. But still, you're not getting rid of the chlorine or the fluoride that's heavily put into our tap water.
Okay. Food Plane goes, wow, love it. Dr. Tachi's in the house. Hello, Dr. Tachi.
Morning,
It
morning.
says, makes sense. Food Plane wants to acknowledge, hey there, she is in the house, Dr. Tachi. And Dr. Tachi says back, hey, Food Plane, how you doing? I know there's probably more you want to share, so keep on going. I won't interrupt, but there are always some conversation pieces.
No, it's good. These are great. These are great questions. So, I mean, I guess the main message that I want people to understand is that your water just needs to be as clean as possible, the least amount of particles. And also, when you drink your water is as important as which water you're drinking. Because if you're eating and drinking your water at the same time, you actually dilute your stomach acids, which are trying to digest your food at a very high acidic state, which is necessary. So always make sure you wait about 1 to 2 hours after you eat and then drink your water. And understand that just like how your body's at a temperature, at an alkaline state of 7.34, it's also at a temperature of 37 degrees Celsius, whatever Fahrenheit. So you are trying to stay within your body's temperature. So if your water is too cold, you shock your system into forcing homeostasis to bring the temperature up. If it's too hot, you force your body into bringing it low. Why put your body through extra work? That makes your organs, be taxed. You lose your slowly your longevity and your energy. So try to eat and live within the rhythm of your body. Your body's alkaline, eat an alkaline diet. Your body's warm, drink your water at room temperature. Don't eat and drink at the same time, and stop interrupting your digestion with food. Just drink water and only water until you're hungry again, and sip on your water. Don't guzzle it down. We've got to do things in moderation and very sensibly. So those are my water eating, drinking, which water.
I have to admit, I was eating out yesterday. I was drinking water while I was eating. So bad client, bad client.
It's okay.
Okay,
As you said in the beginning, it's a journey. It's all part of the journey.
100%. So Opal Inspired says thanks for asking her question. She appreciates that. Food Plane says I highly recommend researching quote the clearly filtered unquote brand. Costs 100 $100 filters and lasts 3 months, and they are $60. I don't know if it's available here in Canada. We'll see. Food Plane says we are 70% waters, so this is very important, a very important conversation. He also says I always drink my water at room temperature.
Yeah, so that point that he brought up is pretty huge, that we are almost 70% water. In fact, our brains are 75% water. Our bones, our muscles, they're about 30% water. Your blood platelets are 90% water. So, I mean, you just like, look at your bottle, look at the cup, and it's like if it's 70% full of water, like that's how much your body needs. And so most of us are living in a dehydrated state, which causes high blood pressure and all sorts of issues, brain fogs. And then if we drink caffeine, caffeine's a diuretic. So now you're losing water for every cup of coffee or tea you drink, every chocolate you eat, you lose extra water. And many of the foods we eat, we don't have like a salad full of water first. We just go right into the cooked food, which requires so much water to digest. So you could be drinking liters and liters of water all day, but you're still dehydrated because just for the regular processes, your body's requiring so much water. So water needs electrolytes to get into the cells. So you're not drinking and peeing and drinking and peeing. It needs to get into the cells. So that's why it's important that you have things like your lettuce, your cucumbers, your celery. These are foods that are high water concentrated with electrolytes in them. So when you have high water concentrated foods before your cooked meal, now your body's need of water gets satisfied. It's the kind of water that pulls into the cells. And that way your water between your meals is there to just clean you, to just, sweep away the last of the debris in the stomach, to help replenish the blood in the cell system. It's really beautiful when you can eat and live in the rhythm that your body was designed.
Love it. Food Plane says, wow, water needs electrolytes. Wow.
Yes, but don't put them into your water. Don't add electrolytes or minerals in your water. I'm trying to make sure the message is clear that you get that from your food if you eat right. And if you need help with that, take advantage of the consultation offer, because I can show you so quickly in 30 minutes how to like literally change your life.
Speaking of the consultation offer, we'll put it up right here. It's a special offer, consultation with nutrition for $49 instead of $110 price when you mention the Morning Vibe or the Dr. Vibe. Email Carolyn at info@EnergyShackJuiceBar.com. Man, this conversation is cooking. It is
Mm-hmm.
cooking. Food Plane, Carolyn is such a blessing.
Oh, that's so nice.
And Food Plane says, got it. Got it. Another question, person I've not heard from before is asking, Oatmeal 961 says, what's your take on ionized water, e.g. Kagan machine, and adding liquid minerals? How about housing your water in copper containers? What about key limes in your water? So whole pile of questions there. Go for it.
So the Kagan machines is ionizing your water with calcium, sodium bicarbonate, and other minerals to make it alkaline. So not healthy, not good at all. Adding key limes into your water is trying to make your water alkaline again. Not necessary. Your water just needs to be clean. You don't need to spend money on these very expensive alkalining machines. You don't need to put anything in your water. Your water just needs to be clean. The two waters that I recommend is reverse osmosis and distilled water. Those are the two best waters, lowest particles, the cleanest, little to no minerals, because you don't need minerals from your water. Your water doesn't need to be alkaline. Your food needs to have good minerals. We need to have a nutrient dense diet, and your water just needs to be clean. It's there to cleanse you. And you can use, again, water on the outside of your body in healing ways, but you don't need to have, it's just the same thing. You would say that, oh, this alkaline water is good, or let's put baking soda or calcium, let's make it. Would you go into a bath full of, alkaline water? You don't need it. Water's there to cleanse you, to cleanse your organs, to flush out the toxins. It is not there to add properties to your system that alkaline you or feed your bones. That's not the purpose of water. It's not its design. So eat right, exercise, get good sleep, and just make sure your water is clean. You don't even need to house it in copper containers. How many people would have access to copper containers? Not a lot of people. So again, when something is too expensive or hard to get, hard to secure, hard to keep, difficult to do, there's something wrong with that. Being healthy and achieving optimal health should be affordable and practical for everybody. Is it going to take discipline that, you have to drink plain water rather than throwing, cucumbers and lemon in it and throwing electrolytes? Yeah, it's not so fun to drink. So is it going to take time to prepare your salads to make sure you're getting good water with electrolytes? Yes. So time is required, planning is required, but I'm going to tell you that beans are still cheaper than chicken, and lettuce, bananas, apples, they're still the cheapest food on the market. So the reality is that eating well takes some discipline and planning. But if something is too expensive or hard to get, I don't believe that it was meant for you to achieve your health goals through that avenue. You are on mute, Dr. Vibe. You are on mute. You are on mute. And I feel like you said something great.
No, sorry about that. Doing this production hosting again can get crazy at times, but I'm good. I was going to say that a lot of you asking a lot of good stuff in the comments, but you can also call in.
Yes.
Again, you can go to callme.road.com. When you go there, put in the code FSPL8L and then put in your name and it'll say join the conversation. And also, you want to get to that website quicker, all you need to do is swipe the QR code that's in the corner there where it says got a question or take. You can do that also. So I just want to encourage, because y'all asking great questions, but if you really want to interact live with Carolyn, I take advantage of it. I'm not saying, I'm just saying I take advantage of it. All right, let's get to some more things. Foodplane says, I see. He also puts emojis. I love this. Banana, apple, and so good. And that's, I don't know what that emoji is there. Is that a lemon?
Yes, it's a lemon.
It's a lemon. All right. 100%.
Well, lemon is good in your water, but first thing in the morning as a flush. You don't want to keep putting lemon all through the day in your water. It's going to interrupt digestion. Listen, we love to complicate simple things. Just keep it simple. Drink your water. If you've got reverse osmosis distilled water, great. If you can't afford either of those, get a Brita filter and just use your tap water. It's not the best, but it's better. And honestly, if all you can do is tap water, then just do tap water, bless your water and drink it. But don't spend all this money on water and stop throwing away money on spring water. You're fooling yourself. You're tricking yourself. You trick your mind because it's coming out of a bottle that you've bought and you've opened, but the regulation on it is like next to none. Your water coming out of your tap is actually better for you than even Evian spring water, like #1 company owned by Pepsi Cola, I believe.
Yes. Well, one of the things someone told me a long time ago, Evian, if you reverse how it's spelled, what does it say? What's the word it gives you? Evian backwards it's just something naive, or like naive.
Naive.
Yes. All right. Food Plane says, I apologize, I may have missed. What are some alkaline produce I can add to my eating lifestyle? Also, what good produce have electrolytes?
So all plant foods become alkaline to the human body. So anything plant, this is an alkaline diet. Again, I know there would be people that listen to me and say, oh no, lentils are higher on the acidic level than, potatoes are. But at the end of the day, it's alkaline to the human body. So anything plants is going to help you have an alkaline system. So whether that's beans, nuts, seeds, Now, your raw vegetables, lettuce, cucumbers, celery, arugula, those raw vegetables that go into a salad are full of electrolytes. Once you cook that pepper, once you if you cook those vegetables, you're going to lose water from them and electrolytes. But having a salad before you eat your meal is full of water, which has electrolytes. So you really just need a big bowl of lettuce. I suggest at least 4 cups of a salad, and make sure your dressing has an alkaline dressing. So lemon juice and olive oil, and not.
Yeah, you touched my heart. I was waiting to hear that. That's my go-to.
Yes.
That's my go-to. That's my go-to. Carolyn, the questions are still coming. Here we go. Food Plane says, bless your water and drink it. I love that. Fitness IQ Cam goes, filtered water is life. And
Well, yes, filtered water is life.
okay. I'm going to break the Food Plane questions and ask Dr. Tati has a question saying, is alkaline the same as pH balanced?
Yes. Yeah, generally they'll interchange that. So if you have a pH balanced water, that means they're trying to make your water between about 8 to 9 on the pH balance scale.
Okay, good stuff. Food Plane's back. What's the best lettuce to consume with the most nutrients?
I would say try to go organic where you can, and you're staying away from iceberg lettuce, but variety is the key. So maybe you're going to do red leaf one week, green leaf another week, romaine another week. Just the greener the better, and stay away from iceberg.
Okay. Food Plane goes, wait, no cheesy, creamy dressing.
You can actually, yesterday I had an online cooking class for this group I work with in the States. And we showed how to make like a sunflower seed Caesar dressing. So, yeah, you could have cheesy, creamy dressings made from sunflower seeds rather than from, oils and cheeses and creams.
Okay. Drea Rich has a question. Carolyn, for salad dressing, did you say lemon and olive oil?
I did, Drea. So we have to avoid vinegar. I mean, that's your base, your lemon juice and olive oil.
Yes.
Now you could add some salt. Salt is not the enemy. You could add a bit of maple syrup or honey to bring down that, acidic flavor of the lemon. You could have garlic, oregano, basil, thyme, so you could dress that salad dressing up as much as you want, but keep it plant-based, keep it simple, and don't add any vinegars or seed oils.
I can't tell you the last time I bought or consumed a bottled dressing.
Awesome.
That's one thing I do not buy the dressing up. No, and it's so easy to make. It is so
And
easy.
it lasts so long.
Okay, Food Plane goes, a vinaigrette better for you.
Without vinegar.
And Food Plane says, how about ACV? What's ACV?
That's apple cider vinegar, and it's dangerous.
Talk about that out.
Yeah.
That was one of the things when I first met Carolyn, she dropped the knowledge on. So go there.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if it's apple cider vinegar, balsamic, red wine, white wine. I mean, think about where these names are coming from, because it's alcohol fermented. So alcohol, we already know, is poison for the liver. And whether you have it once in a while or not, the truth is alcohol is poisonous. So now it's poisonous because it used to be a grape, or it used to be an apple, or it used to be a potato, or whatever it was, and it was fermented, and that's the problem of why it's become dangerous. So now we're going to take fermented alcohol and ferment it again, and now we are going to call that vinegar. It is metabolized in the liver the same way alcohol is. So you could end up with an alcoholic fatty liver just by consuming ACV. And I'm working with clients that have so many digestion issues and liver problems because they take a shot of ACV every morning. So it doesn't matter the benefits that it does to your digestive system. The end result, the aftermath of that ACV, what your body has to do to dispose of it, is so detrimental that it's not worth it. So Vinegar is, I use ACV at home to catch fruit flies, to get, help my grandkids if they get ringworm. But so it's good for outside of the skin or for cleaning, but it should never, ever, like baking soda, be consumed.
All right. Um, Drea Rich says, thank you. I included balsamic or red wine vinegar. So again, I am stunned.
Yeah, you might need a session with Carolyn. I'll really.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Dr. Tachi says, my salad dressing is generally olive oil, lemon juice, a tiny bit of coconut sugar for the acidity, za'atar, garlic, onion powder, salt, pepper, and other spices.
Sounds good. The only thing that I would say is that try to avoid the use of black pepper and go towards cayenne pepper instead, just because black pepper can be a stomach irritant. But everything else there is beautiful.
Okay. Let's go. And Food Plane says, Dr. Tachi, that sounds so delicious to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially the za'atar in there.
Okay. Food Plane asks, so why is everyone being told ACV is so good for you?
So this is one thing that I want everybody listening, because you're here because you want more information. You probably are more of a critical thinker than others. So understand that whenever something's popular, truth is generally not in it. May that like really resonate with you, that truth is not popular. So ACV is being touted everywhere. Intermittent fasting everywhere. CMOS everywhere. Should everybody be drinking CMOS? No. Should everybody be starting their meal at 12 o'clock? No, that's terrible that you're skipping breakfast and eating lunch and dinner. ACV, everybody's talking about it. Why? Because we always just look at the surface. We always look at what the immediate satisfaction is. So immediately ACV will do the job of your digestion and digestive enzymes. So that's why it's touted so much, because we're surface thinkers, we're surface livers, we're whatever feels good in the moment. Everything is instant gratification in this world today. So ACV gives somebody with digestion issues instant gratification because for the moment it feels good. But are we looking deeper? What happens past the stomach gut with that ACV? Where does it go? How is it metabolized? And that's where the detriment comes in. So again, this is just this instant gratification world. It's a Band-Aid, but it causes long-term detrimental effects when you use it.
Okay, good stuff. Dr. Tachi says to the Food Plane, yeah, heard salad dressing, it's so good. And Food Plane goes, wow, there is so much great information here. Also, Dr. Tachi, who's a wordsmith herself, saying, truth is not popular. Colin Nicol. Quotable. That's a quotable. That's a Nicole quote. And Food Plane says, man, that needs to be said again if it's popular. Bam. Yeah. Good stuff. So Food Plane says, I was using ACV before having a carb dinner.
Yeah, just again, you're putting a Band-Aid on a problem, right? Of having, choosing to go on a heavy carb dinner, if that's your choice, if that's what you're going to do. But don't put the ACV Band-Aid on it, because then you're giving double trouble for your liver. So yeah, when I used to marathon run.
On Revelation, Drea says, I may have to book the consult. Why didn't you call in? You could have had a little mini consult right here, live. Carolyn's only going to be around for another 2 or 3 minutes, so if you want to call in. You get a little appetizer, a teaser, what a consult's all about. But hey, Food Plane says, is there any cheese that's good for us? Feta, even in moderation.
So there's actually no cheese that's good for us. There's no dairy products that's good for you. There's no caffeine that's good for you. If you choose
to do decaf, people.
Yeah, so for your decaf, the chemical process to make something decaffeinated is just as dangerous on another scale. So if you're choosing to have cheese, you're choosing to have a cup of coffee, just don't think you're doing your body any favor. So there's no cheese that's good for you. It's breast milk from a baby cow. So Food Plane, I'm sure you're way too old to be breastfed, and certainly you wouldn't take breast milk from another species. So, it makes no sense that we would take the breast milk, which has prolactin. It causes growth. It has hormones in it that disrupt our hormones. It's so dangerous, dairy products. I would rather you ate your chicken before you had your cheese. So dairy products are just trouble.
Well, Food Plate says, well, I guess no more. Carolyn has spoken. Oh, and he goes, oh my gosh, not my decaf too.
I'm so sorry.
Well, and he has laugh emojis. All right, I think that is it for today, but what a day. I mean, like things just flew, but there was so much great content. Uh, any final words from Carolyn?
Well, I just want to make sure that it's clearly understood that as far as the waters go, we have distilled reverse osmosis, we have tap water, we have alkaline water, and we have spring water. So let's just be clear that spring water, the worst of it, tap water and alkaline water, two very, very unhealthy waters. But tap water is still better than your alkaline water and your spring water because it's at least regulated. But your two best waters are reverse osmosis and distilled. If you want to get a reverse osmosis filter, I don't make any commission, but I can direct you to a company in Toronto that has it for the best price that I've seen for an in-home reverse osmosis. But even if you can't afford that, just pick up distilled water. If you must have a bottled water, Aquafina Dasani. I'm not promoting Coca-Cola products, but they have a reverse osmosis filter in their factory, and that's how they make that water. But the truth is, as I said, just make sure your water is clean. If all you can drink is tap water, do your best with that. As I said, bless your water and drink it. And just remember that your water just needs to be clean, and make sure, maybe you want to type this in the chat or something, Dr. Vibe, but your body weight.
Hold on. Your okay, hold on. I'm doing this in real time. Your body weight, yeah.
Divided by 2.
Divided by 2, yeah.
Divided by 8.
Divided by 8, yeah.
That's the amount of 8-ounce glasses of water you should be drinking every day. And if you're having a big salad plus a bowl of fruits in the morning, a big salad at lunch, a bowl of fruits in the morning, you might be able to windle off a cup here or there. But so 8 ounces, 8 cups of water is not the blanket for everyone. The amount of water you need is dependent on how much weight you have in your body.
And it's too bad because I wanted to get into that conversation piece today. But you know what? I let the audience drive the ship. But what I've done is what Carolyn just, that formula, I've sent it on all the platforms in the comments section that where you're watching. I've met people still have questions for you. I know she's got to go. Can you fit in one more quick one?
Absolutely.
Okay. Dr. Tachi, what about alternative forms of coffee like chicory? Asking for the Food Plane. I'm a herbal tea drinker myself.
That's so nice of you, Dr. Tachi, caring about Mr. Food Plane. I love it. That's nice. So chicory coffee or, calf lib, dandelion coffee, those are nice, fun alternatives, but to drink them every day, they've got MSG, they've got like it's a processed food. So we really have to just get to, while we sleep, our body goes through dehydration. So when we wake up, the last thing we want is something in our beverage unless it's going to hydrate us. So that's why the lemon water is good and 2 glasses of water. So you don't want to get into a habit of having like a chicory root coffee every morning instead of our decaf or other caffeinated beverages. So where does chicory root come into play? I recommend a big breakfast and a good lunch. Sometimes at night, if I'm a little bit hungry, I might take the chicory root coffee, mix it with a bit of almond milk or coconut milk, and make a nice frothy latte as a treat once in a while. But you don't want to make any of these caffeine or coffee substitutes a regular form of consumption every day. Water is the cheapest beverage on the planet, and your body needs it. We are 70% water, and so we must be consuming water and only water as our beverage of choice.
There you go. There we go. As the glass goes pound on the table. So Food Plane says no ACV, no water, no decaf, and I got to go to sleep early. Food Plane says tea has caffeine too, Dr. Tad.
Not herbal tea. She's drinking herbal tea, so there's no caffeine. She's safe. But Dr. Tachi, don't replace your water in the day for herbal tea. Herbal tea is good in the morning or at night or on an empty stomach. It's got to be water and only water through the day. Like I said, health isn't expensive. It just requires discipline.
Love that one. Food Plane says I will have to look into chicory. Goes, oh wow. And we end off. Food Plane says Dr. Tachi is the best. All right.
Take it out for people.
So let's do a quick. Here's the information if you want to get a hold of Carolyn: the website, email address, Instagram, Facebook, phone number, and it is in the comments section on all the platforms you're watching this live on the replay. So just scroll. You be disciplined and scroll. Oh, there was one more comment I got to get quick, but again, if you have any questions, email her info at Energy Shack Juice Bar. Also, here's the link for consultations. Also, you can get consultations at a special price if you mention the Morning Vibe or Dr. Vibe. There was an this is a big moment here because here we go. Dr. Tachi says, yes, I do herbal tea in the morning and then water the rest of the day. Food Plane says herbal tea. Wow, I have to look into this. And then there was something I want to show everyone live here. Okay. Drea Rich says, okay, I will book a consult. I love that, but my question is, when are you going to book that consult? That's the real question. But you know what? I know Carolyn. In time. We will let you go because all throughout I've heard the notifications going on.
Are you hearing? It's so silent. I tried to push my phone away.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm not paying attention to them.
It's okay. So
I'm happy to be here.
What we'll do is this. All right. Since Carolyn's with, we'll just end off everything like this. As always, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Would love to get to 1,890 subscribers sooner than later. And tell people about the show, as always. Like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Substack. Join our Discord group if you have some time to do that. That would be great. And you can email me, or there's a link also on your screen. Let me just do this. I got to do one. I got producing and hosting is so much. If you want to advertise your business, product, or service on other platforms that I'm on, email me dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. Mr. Ryan Knight, who should be back with us on Friday. You can get a hold of him at RyanOneilKnight.com. That's Knight with a KN, not an N. Also LinkedIn, Ryan Oneil Knight. Instagram at Ryan.99. Email address, workwithme at RyanOneilKnight.com. And here we go. If you want to get a hold of me, it's real simple. Simple link. taplink.cc/the Dr. Vibe Show. When you go there, you can get my email from there, all the different platforms that I share content, all in one shot. So nice. Easy. And finally, you can watch replays of this epic conversation on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Afro Caribbean Business Network on YouTube, and Ryan Oneil Knight on YouTube. That's a wrap. So as always, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions. Aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. And if you're not making money, make history, but try to do both and make it better. God bless. Peace well. Keep the faith while good. Thank you again, Carolyn, for staying an extra few
Thanks
minutes.
for having me.
The notification buttons are flying on your phone. Take care. Keep the faith.
Bye.
This whole thing of using your business with plant-based products, don't you think your life should reflect that too?
Juke him, Carolyn. Juke him. The family loves us here because they're saying Fitness IQ Can says put a wig on to get in.
Oh my God.
Like the ideas are just coming fast and furious here this morning. What? Okay, look at this. Global Women Ambassador. Good morning. Look forward. Okay.